Welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Jed Morgan, and we're going to be messing around with a few different settings today. We were having some issues with The Witcher in the last few days. There's a new hotfix that just installed, so going to be messing around with that. Some new audio settings as well to get rid of the mouse and some of the other issues that we're having. So this is going to be a bit of a touch and go stream, but we're going to try to have as much fun as we can. And it looks like Legatus and Jaden are already in the chat. Hail, both of you. Legatus, I've already responded to your email, and I appreciate you reaching out about that. And Jaden, all I have to say about the God of War games is I think you should really play the Norse games for yourself and not let people like Synthetic Man make your mind up for you, because I think you'd be happily surprised to find out it has an incredible story. And while I love the Greek mythology games, the Norse ones are by far the superior version of the franchise. And let's see. We got us. The books are still perfect. Yeah. I mean, books, the thing with books is they don't provide a visual medium. And video games, they use all your sensory inputs. And so I really, really like that about them. That's why I think they might be the best way to engage with the story. I like reading the novels, adaptations, as they have as much you cannot convey in movies, games, etc. Yeah, the novel adaptations of movies like Star Wars are fantastic. Sometimes it's a bit hit or miss depending on who's writing them, but some of those are quite fantastic. So right now, I'm just trying to install the hotfix. It is taking longer than I hoped for. It's still actually going on right now, but as we wait, there is a bit of Witcher news that I just wanted to share real fast that I might actually make a video about at some point. But this is just insane. As someone who isn't familiar with the books, you might not understand why this is such a big deal. But this character has been cast in Witcher Blood Origin. Her name's Falka. Falka is like the Hitler of the continent. She is the most bloody revolutionary in its history. She is one of the most horrific people to ever live. Now, there's some historical debate on whether or not it was her fault or she just lost control of a mob, but this is how she's depicted in the books, covered in blood, gleefully enjoying the things that she's tearing apart, the lives that she's ruining. But she only lives about 110 years before the events of the Witcher books. She cannot exist in the time of the conjunction of the spheres, which the show takes place over 1200 years before the show. And they're also adding her into The Witcher season 3 as well. She should be dead for a century in the one show and not born for 1,000 years in the other show. This is just further bastardization. It seems like the showrunners and the writers for Witcher Blood Origin just took a list of names from the Witcher histories. It's like, these people are important. Let's shove them all in at the same time, not understanding how their stories need to be padded by some time, happen at different events in history so that their stories make any sense. Falca cannot make any sense at the same time as the conjunction of the spheres. This show is going to be nonsense, utter nonsense. And there's a new trailer out that shows Avalok not only as a teenage boy, but as a sniveling soy boy as well. He's just like, oh no, we're going to have to fight? Oh no. So they've proven time and time again that they don't care about the source material. It's only getting worse with every press announcement, like Falca, like all of this. I just can't fathom how horrifically bad Witcher Blood Origin is, because we're only a few days away and we're already getting things that destroyed the lore to this degree. Her involvement in the series is nearly as bad as everything else that they've done to this point. We've got 5 days left to really show what travesties they have left in store for us before the show actually confirms all the horrific things that they are doing. And yeah, the character's name is Falca Legatus, and she's a monster. And there is some debate, like the feminists of the continent. Yes, there are feminists in the continent, but they're mocked, rightfully so. The feminists of the continent believe that she's innocent in all the events that took place, that she just lost control of a mob. But she has some really horrific things that she did, like killing her own father and her stepbrothers with her bare hands. And later on, when she had a bastard, she threw the bastard into the arms of Rhiannon, Ciri's ancestor, and said, only queens are worthy of being wet nurses to my bastards. She's a horrific person. She's a terrible, terrible person. But she can't exist at the same time. That's the bigger problem. And I don't think they're going to adapt her as a truly bad person as they rightfully should. So, just considering the current state of the political nature of Netflix, I have no hope that Falco is going to be portrayed properly, and she's in the wrong time by over 1,000 years. So her story can't physically make sense. So her involvement is just asinine. asinine. But let's see if that hot fix has come through. We still have a few minutes left. Uh, You're right, Jaden. It's not necessarily needed, and your imagination can do a lot of the work. But some people, it doesn't work as well for them. Some people don't have as developed imaginations, and so video games go that extra step. I am very much an auditory person. I understand things through auditory input. So having that extra degree of auditory input really helps me comprehend the story and understand it. It is varied by person, Jaden Hamilton. But so for you, books might be the best way for you to engage with the story, but by percentages, video games are the ones that can engage with the most people with the most variety ways of learning and engaging with stories. So yeah, absolutely, books might be your personal one. I just think statistically it's more likely for someone to be able to engage with the story through video games because it has all those different avenues for interactions that a book may not necessarily have. And some people find it more difficult to focus as well on reading, whereas video games is a lot more engaging for those people. It's just you get the great story at the same time as engaging people to a further degree. That's all I meant by that. And Forrest Gump is incredible. Oh, you guys, you guys need to watch Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump is great. And you'd rather spend my time on other stuff than Norse Saga of God of War. I'm sure they're great, but I'm not interested. That's fine if you're not interested. But the Norse mythology and the Norse universe offer some incredible stuff. I do prefer the Greek mythology and Greek lore and histories and whatnot, but that's just personally. The Norse has some incredible stuff. I mean, Lord of the Rings has heavy basis in Norse mythology. So if you're reading Lord of the Rings, you're reading a lot of Norse mythology influence there. Norse mythology is not quite as pervasive in our modern society as Greek, but it is still to a strong enough degree that you can't really escape its influence. But come on, we're 2 minutes out. Great. But yeah, Witcher Blood Origin is going to be a disaster of untold proportions. At this point, I think it might be a bigger bastardization of a franchise, of a lore, than even Rings of Power can hope to be compared to. Rings of Power is just generally bad more than anything else, on top of being a horrific adaptation. But Blood Origin may just take the next level in both horrific adaptation and just quality because it doesn't have $1 billion to work with. So it's going to be really bad. It's going to be really bad. And I'm going to watch it right then, Christmas Day, do a review on it for the Monday after that, probably do a live stream at some point on Sunday, maybe Monday, depending on how the audience is feeling, if they're interested in a Christmas Day stream or not. I'll pull out a poll on that probably on Wednesday. If you guys are interested in me streaming on Christmas or would rather it be on the Monday afterward talking about Witcher Blood Origin, just let me know. But come on, this hot fix. I'm really hoping this hot fix will fix a lot of the substantial issues that we've had to this point. And hopefully my A button and B button won't randomly switch in the middle of combat. Their meanings literally switch on me, and my settings change at random. At random. It's driving me nuts. But I beat that werewolf last night or the other night, even with all those technical issues that we were having. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Oh, Legatus, yes, I'm going to be drinking so much spiked eggnog to get through it. I had to do that with Rings of Power. I can't imagine what it's going to be like once I actually know the lore that they're bastardizing. Because as much as I love Lord of the Rings, I'm not an expert on it. I haven't read all the spin-off books, all the appendices or anything like that, so I didn't really know the references to refute the things that Rings of Power were doing beyond the big overarching ones that everybody knows. But with Witcher Blood Origin, I can get into the minutia on that, and I feel like that's going to be a lot more painful for me to endure than it was for Rings of Power. At this point, I'm happy saying that Rings of Power is probably going to be worse, at least as a personal experience overall. And if graphic, let me see. Oh, perfect! It is finished. Come on, come on, synchronizing cloud. Come on, synchronize with my cloud. Come on. We've almost got it. We've almost got it, folks. He's getting there. He's getting there. We're going to be playing around with this for a little bit. So if at any point you guys notice that the audio is way too loud, something like that, or the visuals aren't great, or whatever, that we're messing around with enough settings that please, I do appreciate your feedback in this instance. And yeah, I really, really could use some help just to iron out all these details, because this will be how I stream going forward if I can get it all working. I'm not a big fan of how the mouse shows up during the stream, how the sound's all funky sometimes. So I'm hoping that these changes that I made are going to be able to accomplish what I'm hoping it will do. But come on, come on. Where'd it go? Where'd you go? All right, here it comes. And we'll share that window. And it, good, good. Doesn't have the mouse in a way that it's not supposed to be. Perfect. I'm going to close down my Discord too. Output, I want the game. Can you guys hear the game? Well, not right now. You guys won't be able to hear it right now, but let me click back to it. See if this did the trick. Can you guys hear it? It should be playing right now. Some loud music. I just clicked away there. Beautiful. You guys can hear it? Oh, I'm so glad. I was really worried. Is it really loud? Is it too loud, Legatus? Make sure all my settings are right. Off. Good. I want that off at least initially. I think this is a new song. Yeah, I don't think that's the same song that I normally have. Automatic finishers, yes. Color, no, I don't care about that. Witcher fisheye effect is on. Camera distance, interval saving. Off, off. Ooh, we can do that. Perfect. I think we're all set. The music too loud, anybody? Otherwise, I think we're good. And we're ready to jump into the sucker in that case. And one final change. I want to make that small. There we go. And I'm going to X out of that and close my Discord so we don't get those notifications throughout, which can be pretty annoying sometimes. But it looks like it worked right off the bat. I think we got lucky there. Not having any substantial issues. Let me just close all this. It's the fun part of streaming is ironing out the kinks. All right. Let's see if these hot fixes fix things. All right. Yep, I'm in the den. All right. The buttons are still locked. Jesus. They didn't fix that. All right. And I want to turn up the gamma. Perfect. I'm going to turn down the audio because he had that reset in the middle of yesterday's stream. Turn that down to 50. And we'll see how this all sounds for you guys. Just let me know how all those settings affected you guys. That works out. But in the meantime, let's see what quests we have. Funeral Pause, those are far away. Gwent Players, Defender of the Faith. Anything on the way to Midscope? I think that's Midscope down there. So we can hit These 3 along the way. Hit the town. Go to midscope. Perfect. And we're off. I fucking hate this werewolf. This werewolf. Is it still very loud? You can turn it down more. Have that down. Try. Have this a little bit louder than everything else. Let me know how that works for you guys. Otherwise, we should be all set. If only there was a way to crouch in this game. I teabagged the shit out of that werewolf. God, that thing drove me nuts. And yeah, they still haven't finished to fix the A and the B buttons. But there's music right now, Legatus. But yeah, it'll be the loudest during combat. So here's some combat. I love this song. This is the best battle music. All right, come on, Warg. It's a dumb joke that I'm not really getting. Jaden. I don't get why that's such a big deal. The music is very quiet. All right. Let me turn the music back up. We'll give that a shot. Let's go, Roach. We're off to see the witch, the wicked witch of the city. It's the town, but not in the mood for neckers right now, to be honest with you. Not in the slightest. Such a great song. I'm a big fan of soundtracks when they have vocals. Not singing per se, but vocals are always great addition.
What did this man do to you?
Him? Nothing. Appeared in the village, looking to trade his ring for some bread.
Yeah, Jaden, I remember you telling it. I just... It makes sense in the lore, and it's a pretty common thing, so I don't get why it's funny.
Do you not have ears? I did not want this war. I have deserted to go home to my wife and child. Take everything I have, but spare my life.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he wants to
let him go.
Fight the North.
Oh, sure. And maybe give him some fixings for the journey. Saddle up a horse for him.
Black Ones showed us no mercy. We show them none in return.
This guy is showing you mercy because he wants to leave.
Tried it.
He doesn't want to be involved.
Gotta try something different.
Mates with the Black Ones.
No, I'm just defending this guy, not the Black Ones. You dumb bitch. Legatas, that's pretty funny.
Damn it.
You're totally fine with sterilization. That meant no alimony or child support. It's not a child support payment though, Jaden. He's not the actual father, so he doesn't have to pay the mother, and the
Thank
mother's long dead.
If you
So
had not come,
If I'd not come, only one man would have died. Really going back to your wife?
yes, she bore a child just before the war started. A girl. I named her Beatrice.
it's an interesting spelling for Beatrice. I really like that alt spelling.
Why did you help me?
And it was not the lesser evil. More people died.
Lynch mobs. Nothing good ever comes of them. Now go. Stay off the high roads and give any villages a wide berth until you cross the Aruga.
Yep. Head on south. North is no place for an Nilfgaardian at these times. In the meantime, we have a question mark to unveil. It looks like a monster's nest or an abandoned area. Guarded treasure, I was wrong. And they're hydrangeas. These fuckers are ridiculous. Like a cross between ants and spiders, but giant. I'll pull it up in a second. Look, I can show you guys in the bestiary how that's spelled. Insectoids are. I went way past it. Indraga. They're vulnerable to golden oriel and insectoid oil. I still don't have a entry for werewolves. Alright. This treasure better be worth it. If not, I'm going to be pissed. It's not bad. Oh, the Beatrice? It was basically a Y instead of an I and only one S. Beatrice. No, some humans. All right, fellas. Who's up first? Who's ready to play the game? You gonna be lucky?
Lost your nerve?
Bastards, conjure it!
Come on. I really need to upgrade my Igni, because my Igni can take care of shield bearers really easily. Otherwise, I have to take it really slow. And just do that over and over again. Just counter and parry.
That's enough of
Come
that.
on.
We'll flail your skin off.
Now there's another fucking shield bearer?
Conjure it! Bastards, conjure
And it did fucking nothing to you. Alright. I can handle you fine.
Piss off. Stick
Actually.
Don't let him catch his breath!
Alright, froze the bastard. Come on, come at me.
Come on.
Come on. Come on. Gotta wait for you to attack. Fucking hell. I'm gonna check my character. I have an open slot. Let's upgrade that. Igni. Melt armor. Oh, it's still... I still have a long ways to go before I have the fire stream that can deal with shield bearers very well. See, do any of these look of value? Fast attack, strength attack. Whoa, was that up 100? Oh, 10%. Lightning refresh. Oh, I'm in combat. That's right. Alright, come on. Come on.
Let's end this.
Come on, one more time. There we go. Fucking hell. Shield bearers, man. Very nice. What do we have here? In Bear's clothing. Oh, it's a book about werewolves. Alright, Roach. Enough murdering for right now. Let's head off to the next one before we head into the village. Come on. I don't want to accidentally come across your Mets too early, though. I think that's Kirametz's hut right here, if I'm not mistaken. Forest hut? Oh yeah, that's definitely Kirametz's place. But we'll be back soon. Mid-scope. Come on. Where are we heading, Roach?
Let's go.
Bandit camp. More bandits. Alright, you deserters. Meet the sword.
Come on, come closer.
You scurvy newt!
Ah, he hit me. Fucking archers.
Kill him, strip him, then dump him in a ditch! You're fucking dead!
Alright, Archer. Say hello to my magic friend. Yeah. It's very satisfying. Alchemy paste. That was my reward. Bloody alchemy paste. That's a hell of a thing to keep in your treasure chest, mates. I doubt you even have a use for it. Alright, let's head to mid-scope.
Let's go.
I think we're still pretty far away from the shrines. I don't want to do Kirametz's story yet, but I might need to because, yeah, I really want that lantern. Kirametz's lantern is incredibly valuable. Howdy ho, blacksmith.
You ain't safe unless you got a Gabrielle. The auto-crank one-handed Gabrielle ensures you get the first shot and the last word.
Alright, what do you
Let
got?
me have a look at your stock.
I'm gonna take his treasure chest. his repair kits. I'm going to sell a few things. Potions. Got an extra saddle. Some junk. Alright. Does he have any armor value? Kedwenian, +9. Slight, +9. Piercing damage, bludgeoning damage. It's a legendary, so I'll go with that. And then hunting trousers. Gauntlets. Yeah, I'll get a full new set. Alright, how much do I need? I need 396, so just double. Double or nothing. That'll work. And I'll take... I can't even afford one of those. Oh, great. Then I'll just use an upgrade to an Ard and sell off what I've got left over.
Nature.
You ain't safe unless you got a Gabrielle, the auto-crank one-handed...
Alright.
Let me have a look
Take
at
it
this
off my hands, please, sir. Take off what I have. I want the money. Very good. I came out of that exchange on top.
How about you take a break from...
Does it pause it when I click away? I guess it pauses it when I click away. I'll just real fast checking the settings thing. Shift up. Just wanna... I still hate that the mouse still appears. I don't like it that the mouse is appearing on the screen.
We play cards
And it
instead.
defaults to the center. Any other cards that I need? Nope. Alright, let's do this. Nilfgaardian. The thing you need to remember about when you're fighting Nilfgaardian, the Nilfgaardian deck, is they win every tie. So, never get into a tie with the Nilfgaardian or they're going to win. I thought Albrecht was a Durnian, not Nilfgaardian. Interesting. Like that. Fuck the hell. No Stannis. I was hoping I'd get a Stannis out of that. Well, you played 2 of your cards. That should be enough to warrant a pass from me. We're only going to go for another hour and a half tonight because of Mellow Mondays. I'll be jumping on that on the Renaissance Nerds channel. Might be a little bit late. Might want to do around 2 hours, but we'll see how we're feeling when we get closer if we're caught up in something. Alright, I actually need to win this one. Wow, that's very powerful 2 sets of cards there, my friend. And another spy. Even with using that many spies, he's still behind me in card count. Worked out very nicely. Perfect. Won that one, and we're going into the final round with equal amount of cards. It's even footing. But I have my secret weapon. And I have a new secret weapon. I love my medic. Because she gave me a spy. And a biting frost. Ooh. And that spy gave me a decoy, so I can take back my medic and get another spy. I'm really trying to convince someone in my personal life to learn how to play this game so we can play it, the physical card version, because I love this bloody card game. No, we're actually doing really well stream-wise. We're super healthy, not even a blip in it. And it doesn't look like it's glitching out at all. I might raise the in-game quality because of that. I'm gonna destroy this man. I'm gonna annihilate him at this point. Really hope he doesn't have a scorch card, though. Because that'll be painful. Won't change much, but it'll be painful. Oh, you think you've done something there, haven't you? Well, luckily I have a clear weather card, so... Yeah, I am gonna wreck this mother. And because I'm a petty little fucker, I'm gonna use all my cards that I can. Beat him by nearly 100. It's very satisfying. Well done, Armorer.
Be his cocky once the Baron's men whip your arse.
The Baron? I work for the Baron, so his men aren't going to be whipping no ass. Alright, looking for work. Not important. The Lady of the Woods, not important. I don't think... Some crazy lady. Don't go near the crazy lady's house. Contract, Jenny of the Woods. Ooh, that one is a fun one. That one's a difficult one. Quiet After Dark. Oh. Now we're getting a little jank. Alright, then I won't raise the graphics then, because we're getting a little bit of jank. Alright, Jenny of the Wood. Some devilry taking hold of our fields, neither spirit nor phantom. Old Will swears on his mother's graves, it's like to be Jenny O, the Wood. Whether it is or it ain't, be careful and to go out in the fields alone, and most certainly not without scythe or rake in hand. But if you courage to drive the foul thing off, you'll receive a handsome reward. I indeed have the strength and the will to drive this foul beast off.
An amulet, a bazaar, some tortoise shells.
Ooh, and I can play Gwent with you
What
as
else you
well.
have on offer?
Corpse teeth and kidney stones. Tried remedies for trying times.
You've got corpse teeth? The fuck, man? I don't need corpse teeth. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Ooh. He has some cards for sale. For fucking infantry. Okay, good. Well, actually, their companion, they have a tight bond, so yeah, we want that. To complete a quest, you need to get every single card in the game. And so whenever I come across anyone who's selling, I'm going to be purchasing said cards. This is junk, so it's of no value for me to keep, but it is quite valuable for me to sell. Very nice.
Let's play cards.
Let's do this again.
Gwent wouldn't be bad.
This bloody mouse is driving me nuts. Gotta find a setting that can change that. Alright. Should I keep the big busty lady or the dwarf? Big busty lady, dwarf. I think I'm gonna keep the big busty lady. Sabrina Glevisse, even though she's a psycho bitch that tried to destroy 2 armies at the same time, including her own, she does look nice, so... Yeah. Sorry, Sheldon. I'm gonna keep a decoy. Do I have a spy? I do have at least 1 spy. Gonna keep the monsters. With a monster, you definitely want to go in with a biting frost. So keep that. Try that. Perfect. Not a bad hand. A little lopsided, but should work against monster deck. His monster decks are very close combat heavy. Very close combat heavy. Besides, the only 2 cards that they played at this point. Very nice. Ooh. That's an opportunity I can't pass up. I can play it twice, get both of these back. And what is that? 8, 16? So yeah, playing 2 cards. I'm going to beat him, and I can get both of those cards back using her and the decoy. So, yep. Alright, monsters, you win this hand. It's all yours, baby. It's all yours. But now you won't begrudge me for totally annihilating you now, will ya? Oh, he didn't have any of the summonable brothers to that vampire. He played a clear weather from his own deck? That's what he used his leader card for? Dumbass? Definitely going to use my commander horn on my range weapon. Alright, he had one of the crones, but luckily I have Biting Frost, so it doesn't matter if he had all 3 or not. Hey, you're protecting my cards right now. I'm totally okay with you giving them protection before I clear the weather. And protect them from any Scorch cards. Put as many monsters as you want on that front row. It's not going to change the fact that they're going to get decimated by my Biting Frost. Ooh. Ooh. If she plays... Yep. I was going to resurrect the other blue stripe commando, but you can't turn up... Can't pass up a chance to steal a spy card back. The flute playing reminds me of Bikini Chainmail Squad, as they use a similar tune in their intros. I am not familiar with Bikini Chainmail Squad, Legatus, though you have me intrigued with that name. Very intrigued with that name. See, like I said, they're very close combat heavy cards, and a Biting Frost can annihilate that entire squad, just like it's about to. He thinks he's 160 to my 44, but he hasn't taken into account my last 2 cards, because it's gonna get worse. Almost 100 as well. Trounce this guy with almost 100 as well. All right. I'm pretty sure... Whoa. I missed all those. Oh, they weren't... I hadn't triggered them yet. I don't only triggered those ones at this point. Pretty sure Kira is pretty near here, but I don't want to start Kira's quest yet. But let me make sure. Hunting a witch. Miniscope. So, yeah, that's right here. And then she's up there. Yeah. I'm going to do Jenny of the Wood real fast, even though it's double my level. Sorry, lady.
Ask a bear to dance.
If it weren't for our...
Alderman?
Greetings.
What do ye want?
So the notice about Jenny of the Woods, you posted it, right?
Oh, aye, 'twas me. You do it? You's a witcher, is you not? Straight off, a picture in me granny's book. Monstrum, or a portrayal of witches. Remember
Monstrum.
the day. We be afeard of her. But Jenny of the Woods, what's she to you?
A contract.
Let's talk rewards.
Oh, yeah. So, how much would ye wish?
See how much I can negotiate from him. I think 300 is going to be too high. He's not going to agree to 200.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
that
you don't.
really
That's
annoyed him.
far too dear.
Yeah, that really annoyed him. So I'm gonna get closer to 275. I think I can do. Oof.
Well, sounds right for Jenny of the Woods, but we're just short. Will you drop it a bit?
All right, we'll go down to 55. I
Oh,
got
have it
16
your way.
horns out of that.
I'm on it. Know if anyone's seen Jenny of the Woods? Could tell me more about her.
Old Willem must have, but he won't tell you naught. He were weak of heart. We found him in the fields this morning.
What?
Other
Whoa.
folk are afraid to go out nights. But you might try Agneta, lives at the end of the village. Word is she saw the wraith.
And nothing happened to her? She wasn't hurt?
Agneta? Outlived 3 husbands, that one. Jenny of the Woods won't do naught to that wench.
We all know a woman like that. Survived countless marriages. Strong as an ox. Kid, this is how you hold your sword, kid. Man, I guess I won't teach you how to fight then. It looked like you wanted to fight, but I guess not.
Wraith that haunts the village. Heard you can tell me about it.
Oh, I saw her. Saw Jenny of the Woods with mine own eyes. Like I
It's an
see
interesting
in
name
the
for a
picture.
wraith.
What did
Jenny.
she look like?
Jenny of the
In
Woods.
detail, please try.
Hey,
Told I
Tranquil
didn't see
Waters.
her.
What is going on, my friend? I hope
Like a
everything you had to
girl
deal with
didn't
this
see,
weekend
and
went
this
well.
pale shape loomed afore me, mist-like. I comes closer, and the cloud thickened, and something like a visage came out of the mist.
What did you do?
At JB, it was an important life lesson.
That I'd wait to see the wraith in full glory.
It
Ran to the
was.
village to tell folk what I'd seen.
I see. So she appeared to you just after twilight?
Important clue.
clue.
Is it
Thanks.
night
Take
wraith?
care now.
If it appeared after twilight, then it's a night wraith. If it had appeared at noon, it'd be a noon wraith. And if it just kind of
Never visit.
existed, then it's just a regular old wraith.
You're a man well travelled, so tell me, should I beat me when you want to speak? Gruff.
Did you hear what that guy said? I don't know how well you guys could hear that. But this guy, I'm randomly walking by, and he's like, "You look like a learned man of the world. Tell me, should I beat my wench once a week or twice?" Well, who goes up to a random stranger and is like, "I need advice on how often to beat my wench"? It's hilarious. Oh, we have a guest. We have a very special guest. Let's see what I have for this man to include him. That's way too long.
Doctor, before you go, one question.
Yes?
Where in the galaxy is Zanussi?
Show us your tits and I'll tell you.
Howdy, Mustang. What is going on, my friend?
Oh, you want me to get another avatar? I've got one for that one.
You got one for that? And one that is kind of Witcher related, if I remember correctly?
Oh, I was thinking She-Hulk related.
Ooh. Oh, no. No, I know which one you're talking about. Please, no, don't get me kicked off YouTube. I already have a strike. I can't do another one.
Oh, I am still at the same point in the Witcher series as where I was Friday when I was sitting, Saturday, I think. Whatever day it was, this week it was one of those.
You just said you had a lot of questions, the last thing you sent me.
Yeah, I'm going to probably re-listen to it again, because there's some things I think I missed, which is not a bad thing, because re-listening or rereading a book is always a good thing in my opinion.
Yeah, the want to do so, yeah.
Probably why she tore her dress.
Definitely. Novellin's whole story was just like, oh my god, why did Netflix not do that? That was so good.
And it's funny, that's considered the best episode of season 2, and it's still really bad adaptation-wise.
And the king, I just was like, wow, okay, they screwed up.
Well, they refused to include any of the complexity of those stories. Like Foltest, yeah, he had an incestuous relationship with his sister, sure, but there's complexity to it. In the show, they implied it was great, and that the sister was all innocent in it, and the mom had a right to curse him, and it was just like, man, bad. It was like, no, yes, Foltest kind of fucked up what he did, but he cared about his daughter.
Shallow grave.
Yeah.
For time. Something's sticking out.
That it was so good. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. It's just I just kept looking at it going, no, why?
The woman seems to me. A night raid.
Well,
Alderman probably knew the girl.
Lady B and I are going to do the stream on it tomorrow, and you're welcome to join us, even if you haven't finished it by then. You'll be valuable to the conversation from what you...
I might actually do that simply because you're not going to spoil anything for me because, well, the show's already done that, but there might be stuff answered, and that'd be kind of neat.
Okay, yeah, I'll send you a link and add you to the description.
Yeah, because I'm really enjoying it.
I'm telling you.
I'm gonna put it up there with Dune. How much I enjoy Dune, and that's
really
a lot. Yeah.
Is the sound too loud?
No, I can turn my headset down.
No, I just mean like versus me talking. Like, does the game sound drown me out at all?
No.
Okay, perfect.
I'm used to it though, so.
Just wanted to make sure.
We all have to deal with that, and we're used to it.
Well, yeah, the stream's going to be at the same time this one was tomorrow, so Central Time, that'll be 5 o'clock Central Time.
That one might be... I might have people coming over tomorrow to pick up some Christmas stuff, so we'll see how it goes. It may be one of those where I'd love to, but I might have to not be here.
Well, we're going to be going for a while, so even if you join late or just want to come into the chat, whatever works for you, man.
Yeah. But I definitely want to be part of some of these because, wow, I'm loving it.
Yeah, Lady B has been chomping at the bit to talk to me about it, too, just like what you were saying. She was asking me questions through all of it, sending me quotes. So I'm glad I've converted at least 2 Witcher fans at this point.
It's tough for me to put something up there with Dune. This one's up there with Dune.
Well, as much as I love The Last Witch, I think it's better than the other collection of short stories. It's not my favorite book, so you've got a lot of greatness ahead of you if you love this one that much.
I'm still not calling it a short story.
Yeah. That's how they were released initially.
A short story is something I can be through in 2 to 3 hours max.
It's a collection of short stories. So each of those, like the Striga story was released first on its own. And after he released 5 or so of them, he released the book, the collection of short stories, and wrote a voice of reason with it to tie them all together.
That makes sense. That was one of the questions I was sitting there going, why are they jumping around so much? That now makes sense.
Yeah, it was just a narrative device to explain why it was all separated like that and have an excuse to put it all in one book. The next one, he doesn't use that narrative device, but it's still a collection of short stories, the Sword of Destiny. But then the rest of them are just straightforward novels.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense because there's a lot of it. I was going, why isn't it running together? It should be running together. Now it makes more sense.
Yeah, he published those over the course of 4 years, I think. The Last Wish, the collection, came out in 1993, but I think the first one, the Striga one, came out in 86 or 87. So been working on it for a while.
Basically, he's faster than George Martin.
Oh yeah. The last book, there's 8 Witcher books in total. 1 prequel that came out recently, but the 7 main books, they all came out between 93 and 99. So 6 years for 7 books.
Okay, so I am way behind. I got to see 1 video from Dre today, and it looks like Avatar is doing about what I expected for opening.
Yeah, it's just about $450 million worldwide.
And that's not surprising me one bit.
That is so bad for it. It's below Doctor Strange.
Good God, he knows.
Its international was insane compared to its domestic, but still nowhere near enough.
Not seen him a week now.
Oh, I heard enough people this weekend saying why. They're tired of Hollywood. That was the general consensus.
Hey, it's affecting everyone at this point.
We thought they'd fled north to seek happiness there.
Dude, I'm like I told you, I'm rewatching NCIS right now, and it was immediately like 2016 hit, and I could tell. Like, I didn't even need to look up the years. Like, oh, this came out in 2016. Looked it up. I was right. Like, it was instantaneous. Like, I've had 4 super woke episodes in a row. It's like, God, what the hell?
Yeah.
Tony just left. The season after Tony is when things start to really derail.
Drive the wraith away.
When Tony left, I stopped watching. When Ziva left, I was kind of checking out. When Tony was gone, that was it for me. I was done.
Yeah, Ziva's ending was very abrupt. So yeah, I think Tony's is a good narrative place to end, especially because it ties into the at least at that point believed ending of Ziva's story as well. I think that's narratively the best place to stop is when Tony leaves. But right now, McGee's acting all weird, is way too skinny, is now all of a sudden a ultra badass. Abby's spouting politics left and right. They just had an immigration story. It's like, oh yeah, he's a killer, but I mean, he's an illegal immigrant, so he's allowed to be a killer. I'm like, the fuck are you trying to say?
Nah, I'll pass.
So yeah, I'm probably gonna stop soon. My last watch through, I got all the way to when Abby left, because she leaves in season 15, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it that far this time.
I honestly have no desire to go back and rewatch anything after. I really don't. There's nothing there for me. They gave it the perfect happy ending for Ziva and Tony. That's all he asked for.
What do you think of design of this wraith that we're about to see in a moment here?
I haven't seen it yet.
There it is.
Looks like a marabunta.
They're called night race in this game. This version of them, at least. Have to use Earden to trap them. Come on. Because unless they're in this circle of runes, they're too spectral for my sword to hit them.
Makes sense.
I don't want to knock her out of the circle, so can't really press my advantage too much. You obviously shouldn't talk about it on the stream very much, but how'd your thing go?
It went.
What you needed? It went.
It went. It was of the heritage. Let's put it that way.
Did you get what you needed?
Shit face? Oh yeah. It's something I just... You don't want to explain it. You would understand it, but most people wouldn't.
Wow. If I would understand it, I have an idea than what you're referring to, considering our shared history.
It was a definite Scottish wake. Don't need to hear bagpipes for 10 more years at least.
Well, in other news then, you've been able to process the Henry Cavill news and...
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Not surprised. Not surprised.
Now that you know a little bit more of what was going on?
A lot more. A lot more.
So people should still be excited or no?
Well, for him, yes, because he's definitely doing Warhammer.
Right.
And from everything that I've been able to garner from it, his girlfriend, who he very much, I mean, they're big time. I would not be surprised to see them not get married. She's big into the ownership of it, from what I understood. So he's going to have complete control over how it's done. So in that respect, I think he's going to do good. And as far as the other goes, the new direction should be pretty good. Starting basically fresh, because really, if you stop and think about it, well, DC's could start right now. Marvel's done. DC could start fresh and really go places with it. No, Jaden, I'm not going to do that. But
Whoa,
yesterday...
whoa. Sorry.
Oh. But no,
I just started bleeding, and I didn't know why.
Are you a female?
Might be. But it is. Geralt comes out as trans.
Ah. But no, yesterday we were able to go over to the park, so probably the last time I'll be able to do it for this year. Looks like this blizzard's coming in, and it's coming bad. I just got to ask, you keep missing this Wraith, like, all the time. Are you a stormtrooper?
No, that's what I'm saying. She's not in the shield, so my sword passes through her. But if I pretend to hit her, it keeps her from hitting me as I wait for my magic to recharge.
Okay, so you are a stormtrooper.
It's purposeful, though. Because, yeah, my magic meter, for my adrenaline, takes a few seconds to recharge after I cast something, so I gotta keep her distracted while I wait for that to happen.
Yeah, you're going to be on her a while. Oh, look, she has friends.
No, I hit them. Yeah, I killed them.
Yeah, she has friends.
Should have prepared some Wraith oil before this.
I made Norwegian mead, and we had it this weekend.
Oh, yeah?
Viking
How was it?
mead. Oh, dude. It's so good. I'll have to give you the recipe for it.
Yeah, definitely.
It is the easiest thing on the planet to make, and it tastes so good.
She isn't really doing a whole lot of damage to me, but I might be too low a level to really do anything to her.
Yeah, I'm watching her health, and she ain't taking any damage, really.
Because, yeah, she's double my level.
Haven't you learned? Go into these things overpowered.
I don't have patience for that.
Oh yeah, I can't open Discord.
Yeah, she's already back to 100%. I'm going to have to come back to this one. At least it's not a matter of her killing me over and over again. It's just a matter of me not being able to do anything to her. I don't know if you saw my stream yesterday, but there is a werewolf that was giving me major trouble last night and yesterday morning. God, that was awful.
I hate you. I love werewolves. You know that.
This one was a little bastard, though. But in the base game before this update, they weren't able to regenerate their health. Now it's a major regeneration. Like, not like that where it happens every few minutes. It was just like constant. My sword would hit it, and then it would immediately heal every damage I did to it. And it was just like, there's no way I'd be able to hurt it. But I found a way. Strong attacks only, rapid succession. After like 4 hours, I did it.
I just gave my neighbor some mead that was, and he just sent me a text. Oh, very well.
Whoa.
I wonder if I can jump in 2 StreamYards at the same time. Jump in yours and Adam's and see if he's even there.
No, yeah, you can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Since it's the same software, holds your stuff the same.
Greetings.
What do ye want?
So I don't think his starts to what, 6:30?
Your time, yeah.
Did you know
I
them?
think I might be a
They
little
must have
late to
lived
it,
in
but
this
yeah, I'm
village.
going to be joining his.
Good God, he knows. 'Tis witchery. They disappeared.
Yeah,
both
there's
of them.
nobody there yet, so.
I found
Soon.
any idea?
I just wanted to.
No way I can hope to lift this curse. Gotta drive the wraith away.
Let me see if I have any wraith oil recipe. See if I can craft it. Spectre oil, that's what I meant. I need Arianara.
One spot for a while.
On market days, loaded with all kinds of fat, smoked bacon, lard.
An amulet.
So far, is there a short story that you like more than the
What else
others?
do you have on offer?
No, and that's what's really cool. I've liked them all so far.
Tried remedies for trying times.
They're all really great. I just re-listened to the whole thing today in preparation for tomorrow, and yeah, it's great.
So
it helps when I do it at 3.5 times speed. That's how I do it
Yeah.
in a day.
I really like in the Edge of the World, Geralt and Dandelion's storyline. That it's a little bit more intricate, but
yeah,
that's where I'm having a lot of the. That's where I was okay. Now that you've explained that they're a collection of and they're not chronological, it makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, the short stories. It's pretty much the first short story is the last chronologically, except for a Voice of Reason, and then the others proceed in order. So the first chronological story is the Novellan one.
Right. I just like the fact that the elves have to be reminded we can't kill them.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny. I was like, okay, I like that humor.
Oh yeah, the elves.
Freak of nature.
That short story really got butchered too by Netflix. Like, as much as people really like the show's version of Dandelion, and he is one of the better parts of the show, it's just so different from the Dandelion from the books that I could never really get attached to him.
Greetings, man.
I could kind of see why the show had to do it the way they did.
Got a matter for your
I think the
village
book
witch.
version would be.
I don't bother with her myself.
Oh, what's a good word for it?
He'll know.
It almost takes away a little bit from other characters.
So I sent him to the witch. Came back sprightly as a foal.
Where is he?
Like Yennefer and Ciri? Because
Yes.
they're not in it?
Yes.
Yeah, no. They're just
Should be hunting foxberries.
they're just not
Feed
in the
our
story
young'uns.
yet.
Marion's lad.
But no, and they made up their entire storylines, and I hate what they did with those two. But Dandelion specifically, it's just I don't like his portrayal more than his involvement.
Yeah, the portrayal part I agree with you 100% on. I just, but I can understand why they had to do it.
Your wife.
Why they mess with the king and why they mess with Novellan, I don't get that. You could have had a half the season just out of Novellan.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Oh, I really need to upgrade my Axie. Yeah, no, like I get the mentality behind increasing Yennefer and Ciri's involvement in the story, but doing it in like those weird convoluted timelines that was messing with people, and the way that they made up Yennefer's story was completely non-canonical and weird. Ciri's storyline had some interesting parts. Like I really liked what they did with Mousak. The show, the only character that they did in a more interesting way, in my opinion, was Mousak. He was only in a little bit of Matter of Price.
What, maybe 10 minutes at the most?
I'm not out to hurt your witch.
Yeah, he was only really in that courtroom scene with Pavetta, but they actually developed his character. That's the one thing that I think Netflix got right and did well.
Thanks for your help. Farewell.
Why did the queen actually know she was magical, or did she not? I couldn't figure that out.
The queen didn't know. That was the first emergence of the Elder Blood power since Lara Dern.
Okay, I wasn't sure if she actually knew or not.
That's explained later in Baptism of Fire when the Lodge of Sorceresses is formed. Philippa explains it, and she followed the bloodline all the way from Lara Dern to Ciri, including Pavetta. and Rhiannon.
There's the boulder.
And
right.
yeah, like it wasn't supposed to happen. The kingdom doesn't actually know this. Like, Calanthe doesn't know that her parents were cousins. Nobody knows that, but they were, and that's what enabled the elder blood gene to reawaken within Pavetta, because there's latent and activator genes within the elder blood strain, and the bloodlines accidentally reemerged, and the activator gene activated the latent gene within Calanthe and gave Pavetta. It's a bit convoluted. It's
bunch of Targaryenism going on there.
Yeah. There's actually quite a bit of incest, accidental and otherwise. Like, in the last book, there's some incest that may or may not save the universe.
Okay, as long as they're not from Kentucky.
No, not from Kentucky. And it's far enough removed that it might not legally be considered incest, but it feels like incest, even if it might not legally be called incest.
What is it? 2 generations is no longer illegal?
Is it only 2 generations? Because it's Ciri's elven ancestor. And so it's King Oberon, the top generation, then his daughter Laura Denon, then Rhiannon, and then his child.
Third
7.
Third generation.
So it's 7 generations. So Ciri's basically getting with her 7th great-great-grandfather.
I'm looking it up right now because I'm actually curious.
Cows are wheezing. Won't rise from the
I love this character, Keira Metz. She's barely in the books. Like, she's mentioned a few times, but she gets great development in this game. She's another sorceress.
No things. 'Tis our last cow. None other left in the village.
Rest died of hunger. Or soldiers let him
Dude, my
off.
Oppenheimer video is doing insanely well. I didn't have anything to talk about, so I said might as fucking well. It's not going to do well, but it's by far my best in a while.
But first, you must.
I'm not surprised. I've seen a couple of trailers for that.
Thank you, miss.
Dude, this trailer is amazing. I got called out for not knowing the history in the comments, because I don't know the real story of Oppenheimer that intricately. And so they were saying that it's going to be woke because he's had communist ties.
Oh, you think?
She's quick to ire, apt to take revenge.
So, yeah, they were calling the movie woke, and it's just like I was just going off what I saw in the trailer. The trailer looked cool, but
now where's she run off to amass quite a book collection?
In the U.S., second cousins on down. There are a few states with first cousins.
Wonder what if that accounts to grandfathers, though, if you go far enough back.
Well, the lifespan would have to be long enough.
Well, that's what I mean in The Witcher. That's what it is her 7th great-grandfather that Ciri needs to sleep with to save the universe.
Well, let's see here. California first cousin marriage is legal. Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Powerful aura.
Utah and New Mexico first cousin marriage is legal.
That doesn't surprise me.
She disappeared too.
Yeah.
The Utah part.
Oh, I knew you were. Both of us are like, yeah.
Yeah. If they've got it, Idaho probably got it. Idaho's like their redheaded stepchild that copies everything they do.
It's a criminal offense. Yeah.
Isn't?
Yeah, I actually pulled up the Wikipedia and followed it to the Commonwealth.
Oh, you should pull up the game. You're about to get a show.
Greetings, Witcher.
I just saw nipplage. Yep.
Where?
Sorceresses have no shame.
No.
Not only have they no shame, but somebody need to work on the CGI on that, because that don't look good. That looks like a Barbie doll.
At least it has areola color difference.
Well, that's true.
And if I turn the graphics up, there's actually like the small bumps or whatever. I don't know what the technical term for that is.
Biggles.
Biggles?
Kira Metz, deep in the heart of Velen. Thought you hated the countryside.
I can assure you I do. Now more than ever.
Heard a witch lived out
Dude,
here. Never would have guessed
you're
it was
not. You
capable
won't
of
meet her
this
for a little
forward
while
rising.
yet. She's
I'm
not
so
until the
pleased the
third or
world's still
fourth
able to astound
actual
you now.
novel, so book 5 or 6.
I actually envy
But
you, that's the
Fringilla
wonder.
is
Common
probably one of the
children,
most
light bearing
bastardized
and
characters
morons.
out of all of them, besides Geralt,
Someone's
Yennefer, and Ciri,
unbearable.
besides the main 3.
Is
She's
that
the
any
most
way to greet an old
bastardized.
friend?
Because she wasn't
believe
involved in all
I've
these
greeted
events
you
that the
with
show
love and
made her do,
hue.
so they
Now
made
tell
up
me what
all of
brings
it, and
you
then
here.
they made her this really depressed, angry woman who just like glares at everyone. But she's actually a really fun person. Geralt meets her when she's in Toussaint, which is basically Italy, where her Duchess sister and her are doing that. There's a ceremony there where you go barefoot and you dance on grapes for the wineries. And that's how we met her. Is she's singing and dancing with her cousin, all joyful. And he's like, it's not going to happen for the Netflix, Fringilla.
I'm looking for a
Why am I
certain
not
young woman.
surprised?
Yeah, they made her so depressing.
Oh, really?
But
Who?
besides the short story aspect of it, what did you have
looking
other
for Ciri.
questions, or do you want to
That
wait for
Ciri.
tomorrow?
And no
You
one
know
can
what? I'm
know,
just gonna
understand?
wait. I'll
Cyrilla is here.
I'll do what I can
The
tomorrow,
girl
but
once
I'm gonna
sought by the
definitely
Lodge of
reread it
Sorceresses, and
because now
practically
that
every
I
ruler on the
understand
continent
these
has
are
landed
actually
here
just
in
short stories,
Velen,
is
and
why
I
it's
know
not
nothing of it.
so
What is she
cohesive.
doing here?
I'll
Right.
definitely read it
Indications are she's
again
hiding from
because
someone.
I like
I
it.
heard she quarreled with
There's
Yeah.
no
a
other way
witch,
to
but
put it.
if you don't know
Except for
anything,
Rhiannon. Okay, every time I
sure
hear
you haven't
Rhiannon,
seen
I
her?
want to kick somebody in the
I'm
butt because,
certain I haven't.
well, you know I know
She's
Actually, someone
the real
asked
yeah,
story.
about an
she's
ashen-haired
barely
woman.
mentioned a few times. She's
He
not an actual
claimed she would
character that you
stand
meet,
out from the peasant
so
crowd.
that should help you.
She's a damn
But
Welsh witch.
she is a witch. What?
And also a good song by Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Not so fast,
So
Geralt.
yeah, I think you're gonna
No
like the
humble
novels
plea,
more
no
because
offering
it
for
doesn't
the
have that
rich.
inbuilt narrative device to explain the short stories. It's actually continuous. So I love the short stories, and The Last Wish is probably in my top 3 of the Witcher books. The novels just flow a lot better because I know exactly what you mean. Is it feels disjointed if you aren't expecting it.
I actually
What's
love
your rate
short
these days?
stories more than anything. That's
Couple
probably why I like
dozen eggs,
Aesop's
3
Fables
hens, maybe.
best.
Your
Mm.
rate
Those are
rises with
great.
every word you
Yeah,
speak.
well, I like short
I'm not sure
stories
you
that
can
give you the
afford the
point, give you the
information
story,
anymore.
give you the point, and you
You're
can
quicker
understand
than I
it. Those are
remembered.
good.
Isn't living in nature's lap
But
supposed to be
Novellin's
cleansing,
chapter,
calming?
I want
Nature
more,
stinks.
a lot
Mm-hmm.
more.
Dude,
Oh,
and they made him
sod
out
it,
to be
don't
such a
bring me that
bad guy
book.
in the show, and the
I know
vampire
it's
was like
Ciri
the
we're talking
victim,
about.
and it's just like,
It
no,
was an
she's
elf, this
psycho.
individual who asked about
Yeah,
Ciri.
They
her
tried to
background.
A
humanize.
flea-bitten
They tried to
swear-tail
really
slobber,
humanize her.
but an elven mage.
I think as I'm reading this, he put
He said
way
what his
too
name
many
was.
He
monsters in his
didn't.
books.
And he wore a mask. Very
Sometimes less
secretive
is
all
good.
around, but I liked it.
Have you come across too
He was
many?
intelligent
Because
and
most of the
compelling.
monsters, like
He
the
said
the
what he wanted
constant
to
ones,
say.
are only in the
Only
games.
that they were to meet
No,
in
because
Velen.
I know
He
they're
wished to
there
know if
because
she'd
of what you were
arrived
showing
before he
me,
did.
and my thoughts were less is more when it comes to monsters in books. Unless it's the people, the more bad people you get that have good story, the better for
Yeah,
me.
yeah. No, no. In the books, he doesn't like. Not. It's not like in the game where he walks 5 feet and there's 5 monsters right there.
Yeah.
In the books, it's mainly he's got a contract, he goes and kills it, and there are references to a lot of these ones in the games, but the games had to fill it with enemies. So like the books aren't like that. With the books, there's Stregas, vampires, a lot of the basics, but the books don't go overboard like the games do, and they're monsters.
You leave any message for her?
No, but he asked that were I to meet her, I should lead her to him.
So you know where to find her.
Oh, Legatus, you know I did.
Yes,
We've talked
he said
about
he
that
found a
before on
hideout in some
stream.
elven
I
ruins
love the
near the
Conan
village of
stories.
Midpops. I'll go there with you.
Why? Think I'll have trouble finding this place?
That's kind of why I like
unfinished
Warrior Nun
business
so
with
much,
his
because
elf.
I know the short
He
stories from the
promised me
comics.
something,
They're
but he never
they're
delivered
really
it.
good.
Besides,
And now I'm
I know
depressed.
you think as I do, that she
Bastard
might be there.
Netflix.
And I'd like to see Cyrilla
Well,
too.
at least you have 7 books ahead of you to distract you.
Oh, I got Shadow and Bone coming up this
Let's go
year.
then.
I'm very much
Yes,
watching that one.
let's. This is the place.
We're about to see the wild hunt for the
No.
first time. I want to see what
I
you
was
think of
hoping
them
the elf would return as
and
he'd
their
promised, or else his waif would appear.
hounds.
At any rate, I've no idea what to expect from this place.
Well, let's find out.
Come on!
Gvela Glan.
I grab that real fast. Oh, Legatus has a hard question for you, Mustang.
The wild hunt.
What? Phantom Riders? That means... I thought they didn't exist.
Feast your eyes on the non-existent then.
Legatus, you're going to have to ask me that probably in about the end of the year when end of next year when I can read all the Witcher books. I'm not going to compare them until I do.
Can you teleport us to the other side?
Because so far,
I'd rather
I'm
teleport
liking.
us home.
I really like the Witcher
Do you
book.
really mean to follow them?
Teleport. Hurry up.
There's only one short story out of both books that I don't think is great. All the other ones I think are great, but there's one that is just purely relationship drama about Yennefer sleeping with two men simultaneously and getting mad when Geralt makes her choose.
Ready. Follow me.
Yeah, you've talked about that one before.
Yeah, that one can just get awkward. And it's the only, like in the TV show, do you remember Yennefer's boyfriend that slept with her while she was a hunchback?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the other man in that story. And that's the only story he's in. He's just a sorcerer who's there, a mage who's there. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm fucking Yennefer too. What are we going to do about this? Like, they made up all of his story.
But I will say this much, Legatus, from what I've seen from so far versus what from Conan, you're not going to be. I don't know if I'll be able to compare them because they're two separate things. It'd be like trying to compare Star Wars with Conan. You take them for what they are and enjoy them both.
It's kind of where it is with a lot of these things. It's hard to compare some stuff. Like, objectively, I can't tell you which is better, The Witcher or Doctor Who. Obviously, I love Doctor Who more, but they're very they're so different that a comparison would be disingenuous. It's only for that short story, Legatus. Most of the rest of it is more traditional. Monster hunting, intrigue, some really cool stuff. Like, it lets the audience choose in a lot of different situations who's right in each situation, who's a good person. And I love that complexity. And that's pervasive throughout the entire Witcher franchise, video games, and books. One of my favorite aspects of it. I want to come over here before I go over there. Like, Nivellen, a lot of people think he's a bad guy. And it's like, yeah, he did do some fucked up shit that got him cursed initially. But...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, some really, really fucked up shit. But there's still a good... But there's a good man left inside of all of that you kind of feel bad for despite everything. And...
He owned it. That's what I liked about it. They did... I mean, he actually owned what he did.
He absolutely did, yeah. And there were other stories where that's true as well. Like the King Foltest. Again, incest kind of weird with your sister, but he really cares for his daughter and doesn't want any harm to come to her.
What I liked with Nivellen is when Geralt specifically asked him, would you like... Well, basically told him he could reverse it, and Nivellen said no. He owned it.
He deserved it.
That showed a lot more to his character than just what you saw in the movie, or in the TV show, I should say. That's part of what made me say, okay, I want more with him. Him and Geralt going around and having whatever, or coming back to memorable times. I want that because that is a very intricate and it's a character that I'm invested in knowing more about and seeing where it goes.
Unfortunately, that's all we get of him, though.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
Well, he probably figured that since he cured the curse, his story was over.
No.
But
a lot
yeah,
more
like
to him.
In the books, they left on a positive note. Like Novella and Geralt, they left on good terms. In the show, it's like, don't judge me. And he's like yelling after him. And it's like Geralt's pissed off at him. He's like, you're a bad man. I'm going to leave you. It's like, no. Like, they were still friends through it all.
Yeah.
And yeah, the other short stories has a lot of that as well. Like Philivandrel, he does some pretty fucked up shit too. But he's been pushed to the edge of the world by an invasive species. And
Show me what you got.
He's not, because he's actually one of the few from the conjunction of the spheres, so he knows what elves used to be. He's seen them at their like Tolkienian angel-like phase, and seeing them as they are now breaks his heart. Like, it makes sense why he's so jaded, so willing to commit violence. But yeah, that complexity. I just love the complexity, pretty much to all the characters. And it's cliche. More. It's cliche after George R.R. Martin. Everyone says it's cliche after that, but having great characters with complex morality is just fascinating to me. Everyone says it's cliche because he popularized it, but it's right for narrative exploration. And The Witcher does it very well.
Everybody that says that needs to go back and read the Greek tragedies.
That's what I think too. But yeah, like there are people who've read my books and like, oh, you read George R.R. Martin and you think it's cool to have no morality and have gray people where everything's just fucked up. It's like, no, that's the simplest approach to it. Game of Thrones really hurt a lot of people's understanding of
English literature
of storytelling. Yeah.
Hey.
They can't interact with it anymore because of Game of Thrones.
I wonder if any of them ever read this little story called Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, there's some pretty gray morality in that. It's
hard to... They're afraid of rats. Could have annihilated them with one spell.
Hail Biggles Mets.
Fine.
Hey, Mr. Biggles.
Biggles, there's a link in my Discord if you want to jump on.
Teleportation. I've no idea how they managed to get to the other side problem-free.
Martin in Game of Thrones is gay.
Different. Got specially trained mages
a little bit.
Navigators,
but,
they call them.
Yeah, I really like the Game of Thrones books as well. I've only gone through them once. And the TV show, I've only gone through a couple times before Season 8 happened. But I like The Witcher so much more.
Have you read The Ice Dragon?
No.
Read it. Audiobook it, you'll be done in 10 minutes. I know you.
Before they do.
That another George R.R. Martin?
Yeah. It is actually, he hates to say it, but it is the first Game of Thrones book.
Is it?
It is. Well, it's the first. It's the first.
Perhaps we'll come across
Planetos,
some
Song of Ice.
Left by this elf.
Westeros.
It's in Westeros.
Yeah. The wild hunt is going the right way.
Be interested. His worlds definitely have a lot more development than The Witcher does. Like, as much as I defend The Witcher lore, it's not as in-depth as Tolkien or Martin. There's essential aspects to it that are getting destroyed in the upcoming show, but Martin's is a lot more deep. But just overall, the Witcher universe I'm a lot more invested in and like a lot more.
I need to rewatch Aragon again.
That's him.
Don't watch Aragon. The movie's god awful. Read the
books.
No,
I'm talking about the books, the audiobook.
Oh, yeah. Dane doesn't like them very much, but I grew up reading those. I have a ton of nostalgia for it, so it might be blinded, but I really enjoy.
Yeah, it was accessible for our cult.
Daughter of the Gull.
It's not complicated. I mean, the first book was written when he was 15, the author, so it's pretty damn good for 15. I would not writing anything of that quality at his age.
Named her sword Swallow.
Come now. Who aside from you would know that?
Treasure Island. Don't even get me going, Biggles.
And it's made a lot better with Black Sails.
That's where I was going. They are wanting to do it.
Like you would show up.
The Black Sails people?
Yeah, they're wanting to take it into Treasure Island now. Well, they're wanting to take it to basically Georgia after
Well,
Black
then,
Seal's
let's go.
finished and go
Do you think following
and
the
get
swallows
into
will
it,
suffice?
start it there where they find
We'll
him.
see.
I don't know how much I want to give away because I do know where the actual story of Treasure Island, what they want to do.
No, I know the books as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
no, I've read them.
So they want to find him in the prison. They want to start going through the whole Billy Bones line, the whole line of trying to figure out where the treasures are at and everything else, and then take it into Treasure Island.
With these writers involved, if this were a few years ago, I'd be like, fuck yeah, that show is amazing. I'd love that show.
It's the Black Seals team, the same team.
As long as the studio doesn't try to force them to wokeify it, I'm on board. I'm on board because I love that show. I could watch a lot more of it going into actual Treasure Island. It'd be fantastic.
God, yes.
It's toxic.
I mean,
love that.
Oh, I took that avatar out. You know I have that one avatar, Treasure Island.
Doctor can't dig me. He tried it out on a patch of these.
Nah.
Let's see, where is it?
Looks like Mellow Mondays is starting.
Terrible idea. What happened?
Well, he survived.
Where's my Treasure Island avatar?
Love be quick on young witchers. Come on.
I'm gonna get out of combat and then I'll be joining him.
Okay, I am going to bounce over there as well, and I'm going to find where I put that damn avatar. Because now I'm bringing it up tonight. So I will see you over there in a few minutes.
All right, see you soon. Biggles Mellow Mondays is a show on Adam's channel, the same channel that you were on Saturday. It's his Monday night show that we're all on. I do a lot of shows on his channel, Biggles. I'm live on Adam's channel more than I'm live on my own, at least before I started playing this. Oh, I'm gonna die. Yeah, the poison got me. Well, that's a convenient place to end as well. Yes, Biggles, definitely go over there and yell some bad words at the chat. I'm going to be heading over there presently. So Legatus just dropped the link in the chat. So yeah, everyone go raid him. Tell him it's a Jed raid. We had a lot of fun this evening. We didn't get as much accomplished as I'd hoped for, but it was only an hour and a half stream, so it worked out. I'm just more happy that the technical changes that I made are working, that we got a little bit of progress with the sound. The window looks a little bit better, but we're still working on that bloody mouse showing up. I'll have to try to figure out how to get rid of that. But until then, everyone head over there, and I'll see you guys over there. You guys are on.
Hey, yo, are you feeling what I'm doing up in here? Oh, I know you are. Do you miss all the good, compelling stories that we used to get back in Hollywood that they ain't putting down no more? Oh, I know you missing it. So check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern-day mental illness issues, baby. Book 1, Down in Flames. Book 2, Apocalypse Then. These are currently on sale. What are you waiting for? Get your hands on them. And we got Book 3, Kill the Dark, is coming down the pipeline. Just wait for all the good stuff that's dropping. You ain't gonna be disappointed, fam.